Narcissist. Financial control. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. You know by now that the narcissist seeks the prime aims. Most narcissists, being unaware, do so subconsciously. They seek control, fuel, character traits, and residual benefits. In order to get those four things, the narcissist is able to avail themselves of a variety of manipulations. One of the most used manipulations relates to sex. Sex is a major weapon of seduction, and as I explain in my brilliant book, Sex and the Narcissist, there are lots of different ways that the narcissist can use sex for the purpose of controlling people, drawing fuel, accessing character traits and residual benefits. So sex is a conduit that leads the narcissist to get to the prime aims. Physical violence can be another conduit. A silent treatment can be another conduit. The exhibition of charm can be another conduit. Financial largesse can be another conduit. There are lots of different routes, highways, if you will, that will take the narcissist to the prime aims. Lots of different forms of manipulation. Money is another major method by which the narcissist is able to get to the prime aims. Financial control of the victim. Some narcissists are financially generous. They buy lots of gifts. They allow the victim rather to come and stay with them in a beautiful house. They have a flash car. They have all the clothing that they would like. They get to go on expensive holidays. They have a gilded lifestyle. And of course, this is all done to seduce them, to draw them in, to think, wow, what a lifestyle that I have. It, of course, can be withdrawn, which then causes the victim to wonder why they've lost that financial support. In many instances, the narcissist will use finances to control an individual. For instance, being the sole breadwinner, so that the victim is wholly reliant upon the narcissist for financial support, and particularly so where children are involved as well. It might be, for instance, taking the money that is earned by the victim and saying, I'll look after this for both of us. Denying access to that person's own money. Rationing it for them. Abusing it with regard to spending that person's money on themselves. Frittering it away. Financial control can be, in effect, handing out pocket money to the victim, treating them like a child, not allowing them to make choices for themselves, not allowing them access to banking cards, for instance, or cash, causing the victim to have to come and ask, to plead, to beg, to be given money, which is entirely at the say-so of the narcissist. Money is another major way by which a narcissist will control a victim and draw fuel from them. Regulating the flow of that money, commandeering somebody else's asset, utilizing their hard-earned money, rationing it, being the one that decides how to spend it, spending it without recourse to the other individual. There are lots of different financial abuses. And as part of educating you about narcissism, I'm going to direct you to another real-life instance of a narcissist who shows a range of manipulative behaviors against his wife, the intimate partner primary source, and amongst that, a clear demonstration of the way that a narcissist uses money to control that person. Money is important. Money allows access to the basic things in life that are required: shelter, food, water, warmth. It also allows access to the finer things, the luxury things, the enjoyable things: entertainment, holiday, attendance at sporting events, buying clothing, being able to go to places, buying equipment, whatever it may be. As it's been said so many times, money's what makes the world go round. And when it comes to the narcissist, money is a method of control. As reported in the Times by Will Humphreys, a jealous businessman stalked his estranged wife, assertion of control, lack of boundary recognition, around the millionaire's peninsula of sandbanks, and bombarded her with messages, lack of boundary recognition, sense of entitlement, hoovering, and photos, a court has heard. Anthony de Havilland, aged 54, enjoyed all the accoutrements of wealth, including a Ferrari, a Porsche, holidays to Mexico and Vietnam. Material objects which would undoubtedly be utilised to triangulate, and a luxury flat he shared with Simone Jackson, 33. But Jackson said his champagne lifestyle was built on a lemonade budget. Unsurprisingly, we have a narcissist that creates the illusion of wealth despite not actually having it, showing a sense of entitlement. He'd been declared bankrupt 3 times, lack of accountability, and previously jailed for dishonesty offences, lying, criminality. De Havilland, a former Conservative councillor in Bournemouth, who once had the personalised number plate of 7ORY, meant to spell Tory, was said to have controlled his wife's finances, manipulation, assertion of control through the control of finances, and isolated her from her friends and family. Pausing there, as you know from my work, isolation is a key method of control utilised by the narcissist in order to keep control over the intimate partner primary source and to prevent other appliances from interfering in that control, such as friends and family. When Jackson eventually decided to leave the marriage, he refused to let her get away from him. Sense of ownership, sense of entitlement, lack of emotional empathy. Poole Magistrates Court was told that de Havilland had changed his name from Tony Ramsden, grandiosity, after being jailed for 10 months in 2013 for dishonesty offences. He had obtained a £25,000 loan from a former business partner without declaring his bankruptcy status. Deceit, lies. De Havilland met Jackson in a bar in Bournemouth, Dorset, hunting ground, in early 2018, and they married in Cancun, Mexico, after a 12-month romance. Note again, marriage after a short period of time, whirlwind romance, early attempt to assert control, typical love bombing, and the seduction of a narcissist. The couple launched a flower shop business in the upmarket Bournemouth district of West Bourne in 2020 and lived in a flat next to Parkstone Golf Club in Lilliput, an affluent suburb of Poole. Jackson said, with his money, it was a case of him having a champagne lifestyle on a lemonade budget. It was very much credit cards that he ran up to the max, lack of accountability, and I helped him pay them off. Allowing others to pay, sense of entitlement. He bought a Ferrari 612 Scaglietti, which got taken off him. We had holidays in Mexico, Vietnam, Thailand and Spain, but it was on credit cards. Grandiosity, sense of entitlement. With him, it was all bravado, an image thing, but he isolated me from my friends and family. He would not be very nice to them, belittlement, and would create a bad atmosphere. It led to rows, argumentativeness, and I felt like I was given an ultimatum of either him or my family. A common thing that's done by the narcissist and a lack of emotional empathy. It was easier to go along with it because it led to arguments. How many times have you heard a victim of the narcissist opt for the quiet life in that regard? I never had any money. He controlled the finances. I knew the florist was making money, but I never saw any of it. Asset appropriation, lack of boundary recognition, absence of emotional empathy. Eventually, I didn't like the controlling element, and I just felt like I needed to get out. I realised I wanted children one day, but not with him. Jackson moved out of their flat in early 2023, escape, and went to stay with a friend at first. The court heard that de Havilland instilled a genuine sense of fear in Jackson by tracking her movements, assertion of control, and bombarding her with phone calls and WhatsApp messages. Hoovering, direct assertion of control. Leah Dillon, for the prosecution, said de Havilland had called Jackson 120 times in the space of a few hours on June the 2nd. Repeated and sustained hoovering. On one occasion, he jumped out at her when she was walking to her Range Rover on sandbanks, Dillon said. Physical hoover. He started banging on the windscreen, lack of boundary recognition, and Jackson had to lock the doors before he followed her car in his Porsche Cayenne in a 4-mile pursuit to Bournemouth Police Station. Hoovering, direct assertion of control. Jackson was on the phone to the police throughout the journey and spent the day at the station because she didn't feel safe to leave. On another occasion, de Havilland spotted her outside a supermarket on Sandbanks with a male friend. He told her to smile, issuing of orders, and took a picture of the pair before sending her a photo message telling her she looked grim, miserable, and vacant. Insult. De Havilland was said to have sent a chill down Jackson's spine by sending her a photo of another friend's property where she was house-sitting at the time. Triangulation with object. He messaged her, "I'm outside the flat. It has come to this." De Havilland wrongly feared Jackson was having an affair with a new potential landlord, paranoia, and so emailed him to torpedo her plans of moving into a flat, interference in business relationship. He then messaged Jackson, Hoover, telling her, "I'm sure he fancied you," triangulation with person, paranoia, adding she would probably get rent-free after the first month. De Havilland denied the offences, denial, first line of the twin lines of the narcissistic defence, and claimed that Jackson had been stalking him, blame-shifting, projection. When he followed her to a nail salon on another occasion, he claimed she was aware of his morning routine of visiting a gym and then a coffee shop nearby, so knew he would be there, projection, blame-shifting, revision of history. However, magistrates rejected his version of events after being satisfied that de Havilland had been unable to accept the marriage was over. He was found guilty of stalking between May 15th and June 17th last year and will be sentenced next month. District Judge Orla Austin said, "Mr. de Havilland gave evidence in a way that suggested to me that he was unable to accept that the relationship was over, sense of entitlement, and that he turned up where she would be and he bombarded her with messages. It was harassment." Jackson, speaking after the hearing, said, "The verdict was a massive relief. For my own sanity, I needed the legal system to believe in me and give me justice." As I have explained many occasions to those that I consult with, that where the law will enable you to deal with the narcissist, where you have a cause of action and appropriate evidence to support it, you should utilize that. Here, various examples of the behavior of a narcissist in terms of his sense of entitlement, his lack of emotional empathy for the victim, a lack of accountability for his behaviors, evidence of his grandiosity, various manipulative behaviors utilized, various aspects of the narcissistic dynamic on display, which included financial control of the victim. Another useful example of a real-life narcissist in action. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.